In today's video, we're going to talk about each map that came out, except for Arena, where we're going to go over survival curated and survival official maps in timeline order, and I'm gonna give you guys some information about them. Now, I am a person that has played over 9,000 hours in this game, and I have played in almost every single of these maps. So let's get started. So the first map we have ourselves is obviously the first official map, which was PEI. Now, PEI stands for Prince Edward Island, and it is a pretty fun map, to be honest. It is a medium-sized map. It does have a bunch of different locations. It does have military locations, ranger locations, civilian locations, and there's also a bunch of vehicles that you can find. It is a really fun map to play. If you're a beginner, I would definitely recommend to check out this map. The second map we have, which was released on August 14, 2015, is Yukon. Now, Yukon is a snowy map. It is a medium survival map, and in this map, it is slightly different because cold can actually kill you, and the weather will occasionally turn into harsher blizzard that can cause players to freeze to death. Now, me personally, I am not a huge fan of this map, but I do know a lot of players that do love this map and the survival aspect to it. If you guys are into challenging maps for survival, then I definitely would recommend checking out Yukon. The third map we have ourselves is another official map, which is Washington, which was released at September 18, 2015. Now, Washington is another medium-sized survival map. There's Seattle in it, which is the largest city. There's a military base, there's a sunken submarine, and there's a crashed helicopter, which are really cool locations. There's a bunch of farms over here and a bunch of towns as well. There's also a little dead zone which you can actually find next to the crashed UFO. This map is very important for people that love the lore of Unturned as well, and it is not a hard map to survive in either. I do think that this map is more focused on PvP as well. The next map we have ourselves is Russia, which is the first large map, which was released at August 19, 2016. Now, this map was also the first map to introduce quests, where we got ourselves the Shadowstalker Mark II quest, the Jet quests, and a lot more. I do think that this map did start something big, where players have to start from the bottom and work their way up to get better loot. Some really cool items as well in this map, some really cool guns, and this was the first map that introduced a large dead zone, which was Silo 22, and the small unmarked dead zone as well. The next map we have ourselves is Hawaii, which is the first curated map. Now, what a curated map means is that it was not made officially by Nelson, but from other mod makers. Now, this map was released February 18, 2017, and this also had its own Hawaii map mystery box, which had some really cool skins. Now, Hawaii, in my opinion, is a really good map. Sadly, not a lot of people play it nowadays, but in Hawaii you can find some really cool items. There's dead zones in it, and some really cool vehicles as well. There's a lot of underwater and cave locations in this map, and I would definitely recommend that you guys check out Hawaii. The next map we have ourselves is the final vanilla map, which is Germany. Now, Germany was released at July 7th, 2017, and it is also a large map. Some really cool locations in this map include Berlin, Cologne, Hamburg, and Munich. All of them are relating to real locations. There's Aerospace Defense Complex, which is a really cool location as well, where you can find jets. There's another prison as well here, where you can find Devil's Banes. But I really love this map as well, and I am really a huge fan of the Castle Quest. The next map we have ourselves is Greece. Now, Greece is another large map which was released at December 24, 2017. This map is also pretty cool as well. There's a lot of open areas in here, and there's also dead zones. With Greece, then, Cyprus was also released. Cyprus is a small island, which for this one there's also survival and arena. Now, Cyprus was released February 16, 2018, and it is a small map. It's a very small map. You can cross from one side to the other side in a very short time, and most of the items in Cyprus are the same items as in Greece. So, for example, weapons, vehicles, and other objects. The next map we have ourselves is Ireland. Now, Ireland is another really cool map in my opinion, which was released at April 28, 2018. Recently, it also did have an update where it was themed around snow, but Ireland is a really cool survival map. It's just a small island as well, but it is not as small as Cyprus. I do think that Ireland is a severely underrated map, and if you guys are looking to play a new map which you haven't played before, I definitely would recommend Ireland. The next map we have ourselves is Carpat, which in my opinion, I am not really a huge fan of. Now, Carpat was released 30th August 2018, and sadly, this map didn't really do very well. There's a lot of NPCs in this map, a lot of quests, and there's also a lot of locations. Something that I am not a huge fan of this map is the fact that clothing is very small, meaning that you can barely fit anything on your character. There's a lot of locations though. There's air control, there's bunkers, there's a dam as well, which is really cool. So feel free to check out Carpat as well. The next map we have ourselves is Belgium. Belgium was released at 29 April 2019. Now Belgium is a large curated map which is based off the real country. There's a bunch of locations in this map as well, such as Brussels, Antwerp, Florence military base, Hofer farm, and a lot more. Now I do feel like Belgium has a lot of issues currently for when it comes to models and a lot of bugs and glitches, and sadly not a lot of people play this map anymore. After Belgium we had the official Rio map, Rio de Janeiro. Now Rio de Janeiro was created at August 1st, 2019, which had a bunch of locations as well, such as Duc de Calixes, Mage, Alto de Sierra, Government Island, and Afonso's base. Now we will actually come back to Rio de Janeiro later. After Rio we had California, which was released at 8 November 2019. Now California is based on the real state of California and it was created by a lot of mod makers. Now there's a bunch of locations in this map as well, such as Cache 42, Calabasas, Costa Mesa Mall, and a lot more. This is a medium-sized map, and there's some really cool stuff in this map as well. There's some really interesting models in this map, so I would recommend that you guys check out California too. After that we had France. France was released on 22 January 2020 and this is a large survival map. This map does have a lot of quests and NPCs as well. It has some really cool vehicles too. Now some locations in this map, such as Paris, Satori Defense HQ, and Verdun Air Base are really good to check out. So if you guys are gonna play France, make sure to check out those locations. After France then we had Easter Island, which in my opinion is a really good map. Now Easter Island was also another curated map which was released at February 7, 2020. Now some interesting locations include Rano Kao, which is a volcano. There's also Rano Raraku Harbor, which is a really cool shipyard located in the northeast of the map, and a Vermilion Mega Zombie camp there. There's a lot of quests as well, which has some really cool boss fights in this map as well. This map was actually in development for 334 days. Now something that is interesting was that a trailer was made for the map, but it wasn't finished before the release. If you guys want to check out a really cool map, I definitely recommend Easter Island. There's also some custom animals in that map. Now the next map is the big map called Elver. And when I say big, I don't mean it was because it was large sized. It was because this map changed the whole curated scene in Unturned. Elver was one of the first maps that was a made-up location. Unlike all of the other maps, which are actually locations of real countries, Elver, in my opinion, changed the whole curated scene. This map doesn't have a lot of locations, but it started to introduce no-build locations, started to introduce the importance of quests, also introduced bunkers, and it also had some really cool quests, such as the endgame quest, the parkour quests, for example, and also it revolutionized the whole aspect of fishing and how fishing can be really important. If you guys have never played Elver, I definitely recommend that you guys check it out. It is definitely one of my top 3 maps of all time. It also changed the whole horde beacon method, where you can only place horde beacons in one location. After Elver, then we had another really good map, which is Kuwait. Kuwait is another curated map which takes place in a flat sandy desert. Obviously Kuwait is reference to the real country Kuwait, but this map was also really good. I am really a huge fan of the quests and really a huge fan of the dead zone. This map was released at May 14, 2021. Some really cool locations that I would definitely recommend, as I mentioned, is the dead zone and definitely the safe zone. Sakar Air Base is the main military air base, and there's some really cool items all around the map. This map also had a bunch of cool achievements as well. Then after Kuwait we had Arid, which is probably the best map in Unturned, according to me. Now Arid is actually based on the country of Afghanistan. This map also has a few achievements as well when you finish the quests, when you assemble rocket launcher, and the first time that you play it. There's also a bunch of cool locations. I'm a huge fan of the dead zones, the fact that there's different dead zones, different tiers of dead zones for where you would require different clothing for each dead zone. The quests I am not really a huge fan of, to be honest, on this map, but the raiding, the building of this map is literally perfect. This map was released in December 16, 2021, and it is a large map. After Arid, then we had Polaris, which is another really good map. Polaris was released in December 16, 2022, and it is a medium-sized map. This map focuses heavily on PvP, but I absolutely love this map as well. This map is based in snow areas as well, having a blend of primarily Scandinavia and Siberia. This map has some really cool locations as well, which is the Dead Zone. There's also Fort Evergreen. The Haze locations are really cool, and there's some really interesting locations over here. I definitely would recommend that you guys check out this map. After Polaris, then we had Buak, which was an introduction to hardcore survival maps. Buak was released in July 7, 2023. And this map was really good as well. It does have a bunch of really cool quests too. It has some really interesting cutscenes. And as I mentioned, this map is based on survival and hardcore players. Building is not easy, survival is not easy, there's animals that can kill you, and vehicles and guns aren't really that common to find. After Buak, then we had Escalation, which in my opinion is probably the second best map after Arid. Escalation, I think I have spent the most hours playing this map. It is a medium-sized map and was released May 23, 2024. Some really interesting locations in this map is Artemis Platform, which is a tier 2 dead zone where you can get yourself airdrop modules, Midnight Keycards where you would be able to fight Dave, which is the boss of this map, Fort Morrison is really good, cool, and Parkwood as well. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, we got ourselves Rio Remastered. Rio Remastered is the new map that was released very short time ago at March 19, 2025. This map was a remastered version of the original Rio where there's a bunch of new locations, bunch of new guns, and a lot of new items. There's also mythical weapons that you can get from the dead zone, boss fights, and so on. And that is it for this video, guys. I really hope that you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys think of these maps. Let me know which is your favorite map, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!